Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about how to use the Rigol DG1022 Function Generator. Now, let's start with the options that we have in our function generator. As you can see, we have a power switch, which is turns on and off the device. Okay, there are some soft keys that you can choose what type of the signal you want to generate. It could be sine, square, ramp, pulse, noise, or any arbitrary signal. Okay, when you choose your type of the signal, now you can use these knobs, which are connected to the options on the screen, to change to select what parameter, what characteristics of that waveform you want to set. For example, the first one is frequency. So when you activate this one, now you can use the keypad here to set the frequency at the range that you want. Okay. Now, remember, for 1K, you put 1000. Okay. Or you put 1 and you choose the range here. Okay. It has microhertz, millihertz, hertz, kilohertz, and megahertz. Okay. Now, let's choose kilohertz. Now, the next one is amplitude. Okay, you choose the value, it's voltage peak to peak. If you choose the value, it would gives you the option of millivolt peak to peak, volt peak to peak, millivolt RMS, or volt RMS. So you can choose it. Now, the next option is offset. So you can have a DC offset into your signal. If you don't do that, the default is 0. So you have a symmetric behavior in your signal when you talk about the positive and negative part of your signal. Okay, but if you wanted to add any offset, you simply inject the value and you have the options of microvoltage, microvolt of DC, millivolt of DC, volt of DC. So you can offset your system. There is a phase option that you can shift the initial phase of your signal. Okay, the default is 0. You can change the value, and the values are in degree, not in radian. So be careful about that. And another option is a line phase. This is useful when you using the post channel, because this model has 2-channel output. If you use both of the channels, so you have two waveform generated by this one, by pushing this line phase, you are basically synchronizing the two channels with each other. So their phase is going to be aligned. The frequency is different, so synchronizing is not a good word. So their phase is the phase of channel 1 and channel 2 would be aligned with each other. Now, let's talk about this option that we have here. This mod switch is it turns on the modulation option for your signal. So it could be AM, FM, PWM, any type of modulation that you want. Okay, and if you use this, you need to input a control signal that actually controls the modulation. For example, if you wanted to have an AM modulation or FM modulation, you need a control, like a sinusoidal value for control signal. So the generator would basically modulate whatever signal you want on that sinusoid. The sweep option is basically sweeps the frequency from a start to a stop value over a specific time that you set. So you set the start and a stop value, and the time that would takes and you for the sweep to go from the start to stop. The burst button, the burst option, would give you the capability of creating a burst of a signal. What we mean, if you don't use that, it would continuously create the signal that you want. But if you use the burst, for example, you can inject 10 cycle of sinusoidal, and then it would stop. So it's a burst of signal injected in your system. These three are the main, like the menu of the control of the device. So a store recall is for if you want to set the whole device, the general characteristics or setting of the device into a certain value, you go to the menu, you change the values and set the desired setting that you want and click the store. Or if you wanted to like have several type of settings, you can store them individually and recall whenever you want. The utility switch is basically gives you the global settings and input output configuration. Okay. And help is basically is a context help. So if you press the help and press any target key, for example, burst, okay, it would pop up a short description of what's happening if you choose that and what is the required connections or limits of that option. Now, you have two knobs here, which labeled output. These are activates each port. So for example, this is channel 1. If you push the output for the channel 1, it now actually activate this output. So the wave that you set here would be injected to that output. Same goes for the channel 2. Now, the function generator also could be used as a counter, like a frequency counter. So you input a signal and you just use this to measure the frequency of that signal. You can use the channel 2 as an input of the counter and turn the device to a simply frequency counter. This knob works as same as these keypads, so it's easier, kind of like you can see that when I change, is easier way to change the values, okay, in your settings. And these two basically navigation port, these two navigation, excuse me, options are for navigating between the, or sorry, are for navigating between the values and range and precision. And if you go to the menu, it also helps you to navigate through the options in the menu. Now, this view button here, it also have a option. It would one screen status overview and gives you quick toggles, so you can see both channels characteristics and even like confirm whether the mode, sweep, or burst are activated or not. Okay, so this USB port is for saving the signal that you want into a thumb drives, so you can inject it, or like you can connect it to the actual computer for remote control. Now, the back of this device also have several ports. This one is the power, is the power input. You have a switch here that also turns on and off the main power input. So if your power on and off in front of the device would not work, so check this one, it might be off. There are several ports here. So let's just start with this one. This is a USB port that connects your device to the computer for remote control. You have several ports here. These two are modulation in, so you can have a digital TTL control signal for modulation, or up to 1 megahertz range of sinusoidal input for FM AM like modulation. These two are external trigger control system that controls the burst or other aspect of the digital signal. So in this one, you can control and trigger the burst. Okay, this one is the output for the digital signal. So if you want to have like a digital output, you use this port. So this is basically how you can work with this device and what are the options that this specific model would give you as a function generator.